I guess we could all get adopted by a rich white man, you know, and we can, man, maybe that's our reparations.
You're killing me on that one, yeah.
Todd, what was it like to be a pop culture icon starring in a show like Diff'rent Strokes, man? Willis on Diff'rent Strokes.
But you know, man, I'm telling you, man, I had a hard road, man, because I was one of the first. So I got hit by every single direction by different things, man. I got knocked off course, I got back on course. Got knocked off course, I get back on course. You know, I haven't touched drugs in 30 years, you know, but they don't care about it.
Congratulations.
You know,
on
but
that,
then yet when a white person, thank you, man, when a white person does that, it's okay. But for us, it's like, oh, he's taboo, you know, but that's the weird part about it that cracks me up. You know, they can go out and make it all messed up, come back and work, and even they even clean them up and let them work. But that don't happen for us.
So you're saying a guy like a Robert Downey Jr. is a success story in Hollywood, all the drugs that he went through in his life, and now he's one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. You're saying as a black actor, once you go through what you're going through, you're pretty much done?
We can't make the mistakes that white people make. That's a fact.
And that's not even in Hollywood.
You know, when you do,
right?
Yeah, it's everywhere. And the tough road is that we have to prove ourselves a lot harder than they would ever have to. And we're not going to be given, we have to fight for our opportunities more than anybody, than they would like. But see, here's what they also have. They got people picking them back up. What we have, unfortunately, is getting stepped on still. And, you know, you can move up, but your brother will step on you. Even though he can help you, he may not reach a hand. But I can say that Ollie Leroy and Chris Rock, they helped me by putting me on Everybody Hates Chris.
Right.
And I props up to them brothers for putting me on that show. They knew my talent. They knew what I can do. They put me in that show. And I was only supposed to be on there for one show. But when they saw what I can do, they said, man, will you want to be on the show? I was like, yeah, of course I do. You know, and they put a talented cast together, and we did our number on that show. That show was funny, man. It was a great show to watch. You know, it was intelligent, it was smart, it was clever.
Yeah, the good character on that show, good role on that show. You bring up a good point, though. Go ahead, Donny.
I want to say this, Lewis and Todd. I hate this. Is my pet peeve. I hate this shit more than anything. When our black people start talking about our black kings about drugs and this and that, you know what I mean? We ain't got nothing good to say, man. Don't say it at all. You know what I mean?
See, that's how I feel, man. That's how I feel.
We all got skeletons in our closet. Nigga, what have you done in your life? You know what I mean? So we got to stop beating down our black men. Oh, he was on drugs. Just like Todd said, they don't say nothing about the Robert Downey Jr.'s, all the other people and this and that. We always beat down, oh, you was on drugs. Man, fuck all that, man.
Well, they're always looking for an excuse. And you think about this, Todd, Lewis, you talk about this. You talk about mental health and therapy that we need. The things that you went through as a kid, being a child star back then and not knowing about the help that you can get or not even knowing that you needed help. Think about that. If you would have been coming up as a child star today, how much different do you think it would have been?
A hugely different amount. Because you can make those little mistakes, but then they can bring you back and fix you back up. And then more people will hire you. The problem was, you know, you only had 3 networks, you know, and you had movie companies. So you only choice between those networks. And at the time that I got in trouble, it was like, it spun my life around, but no one knew the real reasons why, because they never really asked me. And then finally, when they found out, I was the first one to come up with, you know, being sexually molested as a child. I was the first one to bring that out. And then everyone else started coming out and saying that. You know, they don't know what that does to a child and how long it takes to recover from that. You know, and you know, and still to this day, it doesn't haunt me. But still, if I see a kid in distress like that, and I see some man doing something, I'm going to jail. I'm gonna tell you that already. That ain't gonna happen around me.
And Todd, man, forget your mistakes, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, nobody has walked in shoes, dog. Nobody has walked.
Yeah, but they act like a lot of people act like that they have. They act like they ain't made no mistakes, and that's what drives me more crazy. Like, dude, somebody, oh, you still doing crack? Come on, dude, really? Come on, dude. You ain't see me. You don't see me out there doing that. And it's usually my brothers that do me like that sometimes.
And those are trolls, and those are the ones that keep us down. You know? And you always talking about, Lewis, you was talking about how we can sometimes be our worst enemies, our biggest enemies out there, because we're trying to climb and somebody's trying to pull us down, like the crab in the barrel syndrome.
Yep, man. What I'll say is, like, one of the things I look at is like the vulnerability that we have as black men. And that's what I can speak from. It's one of those things where, you know, coming up, all of us on this chat, man, had a pecking order. You know, you didn't want to get picked on. You either came up with this bravado mask or you sunk in. And I've seen it all the time, man, with the kids coming up, man. in the neighborhoods. You know, I've been, you know, working off Crenshaw Boulevard for 10 years when I first got out here in South Central, man. And then it's like I worked, you know, our shops have always been in the inner cities at home in DC. And it's like being able to watch that space where you can't allow yourself to make mistakes and come back from it or own up to it without somebody looking at you saying, you know what, oh, you soft, or you a bitch ass nigga, or this, da-da-da. And be in a space where you can say, you know what, yo, I didn't know. That's why I made the fucking mistake. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because a lot, I always had it saying, it's like most of us, pretty much all of us, man, are ignorant to out of default to something. It's like, it doesn't matter what it is. It just depends on, you know, you might have a different geographical nature or a different family or economic status, whatever it is that you came up from. But it's like that thing that we're ignorant to default, that might have been that person's mistake because they didn't know, but they didn't have the help. You can't blame them for it. You got to have empathy towards people, man.
There you go. That's
the thing. Okay, there's nothing wrong with being ignorant. No one's omniscient except God.
Imagine, that's right. Imagine this. Imagine how much pressure I had to carry for what I was doing. I carried a lot of pressure for a lot of people because I was one of the first Black kids out there on a lot of stuff. I carried a lot of pressure, man. And then when I finally broke, you know, I broke, and you know, and it happens to everyone. But then, you know, that breaking period, it didn't take long. It took 4 years, and I came back. But getting back accepted to my people was hard. I got accepted by the white people faster than I got accepted by my people back.
That's a damn shame, man. You know what? Here's the thing, though. Sometimes we go through things, and we all have skeletons. I've talked about this many times on the show. But sometimes they make you who you are. They make you grow. They build your character. So what you went through, how has that prepared you for the rest of your life?
It prepared me to teach my kids how not to let that happen. It prepared me to be able to teach people how to deal with your emotions and feelings. When you are a young child and your parents, not my mom, my dad, stunts your emotions and tells you you don't feel that, you don't cry, you just decide you handle, you be a man, blah, blah. That's not being a man. Being a man is knowing how to deal with your emotions and your feelings and expressing them in the right way, being able to talk about them with your wife or your best friend or your pal. Say, I'm going through this right now. Being honest with your friend and him not taking that as a weakness, but taking it as, man, this is my buddy. I need to help my boy out. That's what we need more of in growing up, you know, and when you're a child. You need those friends you can say, man, I'm feeling like this today, horrible, blah. Because see, the thing I know today, though, it passes. No matter how I feel today, it'll pass tomorrow. I do know that for a fact. That's why I ain't went back on drugs. Because I know if I feel that way, it's going to pass tomorrow. It's not going to stay with me, you know, and teaching people that emotions are good. Feelings are wonderful. You know, I made some mistakes in my life, but so what? Like you said, who didn't make mistakes? But don't keep stepping on my head for the mistakes I made in the past, because you, like, every time, you know, when they mention my name about something, oh, Todd Bridges, you know, actually drug addict, Todd Bridges in the new show. What the heck did I have to do with that? That was 30 years ago. Let it go.
Right. We're going to do that, man. We're going to let it go, bro.